Today I'm going to be taking a look at one of the wildest gamepads that I've checked out in a while. What I have in front of me today is the Zeus 2 Modular Elite controller made by Beatong. It's a fully customizable pro-style controller that's compatible with Windows, Nintendo Switch, Steam, iOS, and Android. This thing is jam-packed with feature upon feature upon feature, but how well does it actually perform? Let's open this thing up and take a closer look. So inside the box, you have the Zeus 2 Elite controller itself. You have a USB Type-C cable for wired connection and charging. You have a quick start guide, a set of instructions, and like I previously stated, this thing is completely modular. So it comes with 4 additional joysticks and 2 additional sets of face buttons. They also have the Nintendo Switch style face buttons if you plan on using this thing more for your Nintendo Switch. You have 3 additional directional pads and a dongle. Don't worry, I'll be going over all of these additional accessories in greater detail in just a little bit. Taking a look at the gamepad itself, you have 4 face buttons, 2 analog sticks, and a directional pad. You have what appears to be a back and menu button, as well as this AI button that it really doesn't say in the packaging or in the instruction manual what this button is used for, but we're gonna figure it out. Over on the top, you have 2 shoulder bumpers that are tactile and clicky, but don't feel like they use the same optical switches as the face buttons. You have 2 Hall sensor triggers, and you have this M5 and M6 button that do feel like they use the same optical switches as the face buttons. You also have the on-off switch and the USB Type-C port. Over on its backside, you have 4 paddle style buttons, and you have your trigger guards in case you want a more shallow trigger press. Underneath, you have a FN button, a profile button, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and this really cool switch that allows you to make any game compatible with the gyro controls. What it does essentially is converts the right joystick to motion controls, but I believe that's programmable as well. The ergonomics of the controller are really good. It's got some solid weight to it and is really comfortable to hold. The face buttons and D-pad feel absolutely incredible with these optical switches. I couldn't find anywhere that stated the joysticks were Hall effect, so I'm just gonna assume that they're not. They didn't feel too bad, but they did feel a little bit on the loose side. But once again, everything is programmable, so if that's not to your liking, there's software that actually lets you modify. The triggers have built-in vibration motors, almost trying to replicate what you would feel on a PS5 DualSense. It's a pretty cool effect, but it's definitely no DualSense. Now let's look at some of these accessories. All of the joysticks are different lengths. You have small, medium, and large, and you can mix and match per your comfort level. Every joystick has the same grip pattern on top. It would have been nice to see a little diversity there, but that's not a big deal. Looking at the D-pads, you have 2 cross-style D-pads and 2 octagonal-style D-pads. At first glance, they might look exactly identical, but they're really not. 2 of them are lightweight plastic, and the other 2 are heavy-duty brushed aluminum. In terms of the variety of the face buttons, one of them is the more standard conductive style button that we're accustomed to seeing on a more day-to-day basis. The other one is a crisp, mechanical, micro switch style button. And the third are these instant optical switches, which allegedly give you the best response time out of the 3. The 4th one that you're seeing is the exact same as the instant optical switches one. It's just with a Nintendo Switch style button configuration. The faceplate is magnetic and pops right off, and it's super easy to swap anything out. You can mix and match on the fly within a couple of seconds. Since the buttons are completely mechanical, the first thing I had to do was try it out with a fighting game. I fired up Street Fighter 6, and I have to say I was really disappointed with the D-pad. The cross D-pad sits very flush with the rest of the controller, and this led to a lot of dropped inputs. I switched over to the octagon D-pad, which I normally hate, but the way it's oriented on this specific controller, it still kind of creates a cross pattern, and this made a big difference. It was such an improvement. Playing a shooter, my earlier suspicions were validated. The analog sticks felt a little too loose and too sensitive for my liking. Of course, this isn't really an issue, because at any point you can customize the sensitivity to your desired comfort level. I tried tapping this AI button again, and it did nothing. Moving over to the Nintendo Switch, and this thing felt great. I'm not gonna lie, it almost felt like overkill using this controller for some of these platformers here. I flipped the switch that allows you to enable gyro controls with any game, and I was pleasantly surprised at how tight and functional it actually was. I'm not big on gyro controls in general, but I know some people really are, and they're really gonna like this feature. Using the actual gyro controls for their intended function were smooth and precise. Definitely no complaints here. When it comes to gamepads that I've used for the Nintendo Switch, this is definitely up there in the premium elite category. But once again, I hit that AI button and I still don't know what the hell this thing does. So I decided to plug this thing into a Windows PC and I installed the Gamepad Assistant. This program gives you full options to all of the controller's customization features. This is where you can alter the sensitivity of the analog sticks, completely remap the buttons, program the paddle style buttons. This also enables the AI button, which actually is just a roulette wheel with a variety of different shortcuts that you can program and customize. It has absolutely nothing to do with artificial intelligence, and it's literally just a shortcut button. Not gonna lie, I feel kind of cheated with that one. So the Zeus 2. Guys, what can I say? This is absolutely a premiumly built pro-style gamepad. It has a ton of function and a lot of features. Using it as a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, the Switch as a game console really isn't going to utilize a lot of this controller's features. But if you're looking for a really good gamepad to use on PC, iOS, or Android, this one might be worth looking into. I'm still pissed off that the AI button only gave me a hotkey roulette wheel. I mean, I wasn't expecting Jarvis to show up and play the game for me, but damn, do something else or at least name the button something else. But once again, that's not a big deal. And overall, this is a really, really good gamepad. If you guys are interested in the Zeus 2, I'll put links in the description below. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.